I just started it. We're on. We're live.
Okay, let's go.
Good morning, evening, or afternoon, evening, whatever it might be for you. Morning for me, I think, after or evening for Kat. And so today we're going to talk about the relationship with money and how contradicting it is, or how common it is to be so contradicting.
Totally. Take it away.
So yeah, go ahead, Kat.
You first go.
Oh, I was just going to jump right into it.
Go. That's what I was saying. Go for it, Brittany.
Okay. So this is a funny topic. That's why we're laughing, because we just right before we came into the call. Anyway, it's funny because we all want money. We all need it. That's socially normal. We all need money. We all need, and I'm just going to touch on that a little bit. When I say we all need money, I know that a lot of those mental monsters out there would start saying, oh, I don't need money. I just need to get by, and I don't need, but you do need money. We need money to be the best we can be. We need money to be fully expressed, because money is the currency that we use to buy things, and we need things we need resources. We need things, and we need money for that. That's just a fact. As much as we want to deny it, it's something that is absolutely necessary and essential. So moving on from that, we all need money, and we all know that we want it. We all want money. I believe that if someone says, oh no, I don't want money, I don't want any more money than I have, then I think that is just
lying.
Yeah, you're lying to yourself. You do want money. We all want a better life, and unfortunately or fortunately, money is what gets us there. And we can have, you can have tons of money and be miserable because you just don't do with it what you need to do with it to be happy. I mean, money doesn't make you happy. You make yourself happy with money. So I'm kind of touching on a really, the more I talk about it, the more I'm feeling I'm touching on a sensitive subject, because it's always preached you don't need money to be happy, because nothing is happiness except within yourself. That's a choice, right? But when we're fulfilled, when we're living a fulfilled life where we can truly share ourselves and share what we have and help other people, we need to have money, and that's fulfilling life, in my opinion. And so what we do is we want it and we need it, but we all hate it. So we push it away. We create this negative notion around it and cause resistance towards it, and convince ourselves that it's a monster and it's so hard to get and it consumes our lives. And but then on the other hand, we want it and we want more of it. And so this is the contradiction, and it's very, very common. So in order to get abundance and have money come with ease, and it be just to live that financial freedom, that lifestyle, we have to learn how to marry the two and not be contradicting with our mindset around finances and money. And I was just saying to Kat, and it's not quoted, it's from the book You Are a Badass. I think it's You Are a Badass. I can't remember the author's name. Female. Anyway, and I'm not quoting her here, but she basically plays out how you would speak to money, or how you do speak to money every day. And you say that you're ugly, I hate you, you cause all these problems in my life, and then in the same breath you say, well, I love you and I want more of you. So if you were to say that to a person, they would turn and run. Well, for the most part anyway. So yeah.
No, you just have to turn around and be nice to it. Say, hey, come for dinner, invite it in.
That's right. Create space for loving money. Respect it. Gain respect for it for what it is.
Yeah. No, a lot of people do have this hate. And I, as I was saying to Brittany, I had these emails come, and it was like, one of them said, "Oh, you know, you're so lovely. Do come for dinner, and I can't wait for you to come. And I've got this little special, you know, treat I know you love. And what time are you coming? And, you know, I'm really excited." And then there's the, you know, "Oh yeah, right, great, you're coming for dinner. Well, just drop me a note when you're coming. You know, I'll have something ready maybe if I'm back." You know, and where would you like to go? Well, obviously, I personally would rather go to the person that's go, "Yeah, I can't wait," you know, and money's the same. So, you know, you know, I just thought that was so lovely when they signed off, you know, because we got these 2 days in a row or whatever it was. I can't remember, but it was a lovely way of like, oh God, a wake up call of, you know, how are you treating money and how do you talk to it? And, you know, it's like, I remember a long time ago, someone said, you know, "I love money. I'm so grateful I can pay my bills at the end of the month. You know, I sign that check with such love because that check is giving me my phone for another month, enabling me to do business." So I thought, oh, yeah, there's a different way of looking at signing those bills, you know. Okay, yeah. And it means that, you know, when those bills come, it's not, "Oh, my God, how am I going to pay this bill?" You know, which you might be at that stage. Well, I was when this was happening, you know, juggling between which bill was I going to pay first. I just thought, great, I can, you know, I'm going to get my checkbook out and I'm going to pay this bill now. Which one should I pay first? You know, but at least I tried to do it with a smile, and, you know, it wasn't like, "Oh my God, you know, the earth is caving in on me" type feeling. And just to say that I have taken on this attitude, and I've grown and I've progressed. And for me, everything is done at the bank now. You know, the electricity or whatever bill comes in, it's, you know, taken out the bank. I don't deal with signing checks anymore. And my husband, who's always said, "I hate money. I hate money. Why do we need money? I don't want money. I can't. I just hate money. I just hate money." This is what I heard for, you know, 30 odd years. And he's still doing the same. He's still struggling. He's still doing this, and he's bringing in the money. Make no doubts about it, because he gives some of it to me. So there is money for him coming in, but it's just his attitude will never. And I've always said to him, "Well, okay, but don't say that, because I like money." Yeah, I would say, you know, but obviously because he was the earner, it was, you know, it was a bit of a. But it's just to say that it does have such a profound effect, no matter what people say or do. You know, this is, to me, is living proof, because right now he is earning a lot more money than me, and I'm not struggling with money. It doesn't mean to say I'm, you know, rolling in it, but I love money. And he still doesn't. So he will never change until he changes that attitude and invites money in, you know. So sorry, I just got carried away there, Brittany.
No, that's totally fine. Actually, it brought something up for me, because I like to try and put myself in the viewer's seat or shoe.
Yes. Mm.
So as you're speaking, I totally understand it all, right? Because I'm in the same position with my husband. But not the exact same, but you know what I mean, right? Like, anyway, and as a viewer watching, they might say, "Well, what does it matter if they're making more money and they're negative towards money? Then what does it matter if they're making more money?" But the thing is that we all have a different money or financial blueprint, right? That's going to get us to a certain point of financial success. Now, I'll just use my husband as an example. The man knows how to make money. He runs a successful company and he makes good money. He has more gray hair every time I see him. He's miserable. He hates himself. And money it's killing him. So he's making it, but what for? Why? What, in the end, what good is it if that's the way you need to make money? If you need to put your life and your health and your mental health, your physical health on the line to make that money. Because there's a difference. Well, there's a different subject here coming up. The difference between a creatively making money and competitively making money. And that's a completely different subject. But you don't have to kill yourself to make money. We think that that's the way to do it, and that's the normal, and that's the way it should be. but it's not. It's not normal to kill yourself to make money. Like my husband runs a company that takes all his time, all his effort. It stresses him out. It's literally taking his life, slowly taking his life because of stress. And in the end, what is it all for? He thinks he's doing it for the exact reason that he doesn't have time for, because he's so busy making money. So it's and I know in my heart, and I know for a fact, people like him, and I'm not speaking poorly of him either. This is just a fact, and he's aware of it. It's a vicious cycle. It's difficult to get out of once you're in it, especially when you're in a competitive industry or making money in a competitive way. But when you can wrap your mindset around exactly what Kat was saying and looking at the things that you usually look at in such a negative way. So when you know that bill's coming in, you feel anxious and you feel sick and you feel stressed out for the week before it comes, and then the week after you pay it, where you're budgeting because you don't have the money because you had to pay this bill and you didn't pay this bill, so that's stressing you out. If you can shift that mindset, it's still all happening. But if you can shift that mindset, you can start training your subconscious mind to start taking action towards making that situation better, instead of dwelling and being negative and hurting yourself in the process and just staying in the same place. So yes, my husband covers like a lot of money a month, but he's killing himself doing it. And he's capped. So once his income reaches his blueprint, gets to that point, he'll sabotage, so he stays at that point always struggling, always stressed out, never getting ahead. And that's the same as Kat's husband. He might be making money, but because he hates it, he's only going to make this much money. And then he's going to stay there, and he's going to be stressed out, and he's going to be killing himself because he hates money, and he's negative, and he's miserable, and it's going to stay that way. He's not going to get ahead to the point where he doesn't have to worry about it anymore, or he doesn't have to allow it to stress him out, or he can actually get to the point where he loves money and what it does for his life because of his mindset. So the amount of money that you make is irrelevant here. It's completely irrelevant. Whether this person's making more money than this person, it doesn't matter. If this person's happy, then who is more wealthy? It's really something to look at. Like they say that a lot of the more traditional wealthy people were the most miserable. And it's not really like that today with the digital economy. Wealthy people are kind of living a more balanced, their income is their life, their business is their life. It's just all one. It's not you leave work at work, you go home to home. It's kind of like, well, it is, but in the moment it is. But it's people are doing what they love now. People are making a living through what they love now. And not everybody, trust me, there's still tons of people who are unaware of the digital economy and what you can do. But the people who are aware of it and have stepped into it, they are making money through an outlet that makes them happy. And that's the way it's supposed to be. And it's no fault of anybody's. It just is what it is. That's the traditional mindset. That's the industrial mindset. That's the way that's the way society has been for generations. And as we're coming out of it into the new economy, the new digital economy with technology, and as everything comes in and changes, then it's changing. But it's no excuse either, because once you become aware of it, it's up to you to start changing and learning and being open to making a difference in your life and not staying in that old mindset. And that's the same with money. Like for myself, I still struggle with the financial mindset. I know I'm way, way better than I was before. Like I'm not stressed about it at all, but there's still little tweaks that need to be made. There's still attention that I need to put in that area. And I continue to do that. I listen to books, I read books that educate my mind so that I can continue to get better. It's not going to happen overnight, and I'm aware of that. And it's something else that's really important for everybody to be aware of, is not to expect these things to happen overnight, and just know that you have to start. You have to start one day. So it doesn't matter how long it takes. Like if I wanted to make $100,000 last year and I didn't, and I told myself, oh, I didn't make the money, what's the point of even doing this? Like, I should just go back to my job and screw it. I didn't make what I wanted to do. It didn't do what it was supposed to do for me. And then I went back to my job. What was the point of that? If you don't start, no matter how long it takes, you're always going to be where you are. Now I'm a year ahead, and next year I'll be another year ahead. I'm just getting closer and closer to my goal. Whereas if I didn't start it, or I stayed in my job, or stayed in the life that I was in, I would still be there, and I always will be there. I would rather be fighting for my goals for the rest of my life than settling for a life that I was miserable in. And I feel like I'm getting off topic, but I think it's all kind of relevant.
It's totally relevant, and you're right. People must start. That's the main thing. Before you start, you just have to become aware. So, our job here, hopefully, is to make you aware, and that's if I've made you aware that there is another way. Because let me tell you, at the beginning, when I had this knowledge and I was still juggling with the bills, I still had nothing. My husband loved to, trade carrots for his time and his work. Well, I need to put shoes on the kids. How am I going to feed the kids? 3 carrots for 3 hours of work? No, I'm sorry, darling. So I was fighting and I was still struggling with the bills. But at some point in the day, I just could not. I was so ill, I could not go any deeper. I just thought, well, I've got to move up, kick my butt and, be happy about, I can pay this bill because this woman, when she said, you've got to be happy to just sign that check. And when you're listening to this, you might never have written a check. I don't know, but because I don't write any anymore. So I'm thinking, God, it might be prehistoric. But back in the day, which is about 3-4 years ago or 5 years ago, I don't know. It's not that long ago, but that's how fast it's moving. But you will not move as fast as the economy is moving. Okay, just know that and be happy with where you're at right now. It doesn't mean say you're giving up hope and you're just not going along, as Brittany was saying. I didn't make my 100,000. Well, never mind. I'll just give up. You can't give up. That's when you fail. You never fail until you give up. So if you haven't given up, you haven't failed. You just learned how not to do that and how better to do that. Well, I'll try this way. Well, I'll try that way, and that's how you progress. Because we're dealing, as like Brittany said, with from the Industrial Revolution, the 16th century to now, it's, or 18th century to now. It's, it can't just be done in a day or a year or 2 years. It's, it's a whole load of stuff going on. And you've got a society outside that is pounding and pounding you because they are scared. Society in general is scared about these internet millionaires, as they call them. And so they're putting more pressure on the internet people, as well, whatever you can call us, people who are earning a living from the internet, because they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know, maybe the society is scared that there won't be enough money for everyone. Maybe, well, there's always enough for everyone. There will be enough for everyone. That is something that, what there won't be enough of is, what the Industrial Revolution is doing to our country now is our poor planet Earth. There won't be, once you've knocked down the last tree, that's it. There won't be another one. That is a bit more important than, is there going to be enough money to go around? There will always be enough money to go around. That is, a given for me. So, there's much bigger topics to get your head round that you should be looking into also. But let's just start with this one, And now, there's, you can look, no matter how bad your situation is, you can look at it a different way. And it's not easy, and it doesn't come, overnight, like I keep saying. But you're, 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other. And then you're like, oh my God, look at all the, I've just come all this way, So you can only do so much. That you have to learn to accept also. But you've got to keep looking forwards also. You can't just say, oh, it didn't work. Well, I'll just get back. I can't even envisage that kind of mindset, but it does happen.
Yeah, I think it happens all the time, and that's because of fear. And usually it's fear that we're not capable. We all have this fear that we're not good enough and we won't be able to do it. We won't be able to handle it. So that's what makes people go back, is just, well, go back to the comfort zone. Just to go back on one thing you said, Kat, is I think that the first step, like to kind of take it into solution based, the first step is again awareness. So become aware of when you start to feel those emotions, that stress, that tension around money. When you look at your bank account, when you dread going into your bank account and looking like online or whatever, that's when it's time to nail down those emotions and get a handle on them. And you have to believe that you are in control of them. You are in control of your thoughts, and get a handle on them as soon as you feel them coming in. And you're not going to be able to right away. You're just going to become aware of how you're feeling. Oh man, I'm feeling like really anxious right now. And just be aware of it. That's the first step. And you're not going to be able to control it right away. You're not going to be able to change it. And there's a point to that. It's because we have to learn how to acknowledge things as they are. It's really important to accept where you are, because until you accept your exact situation and your circumstances, accept them for what they are, just completely accept who you are and where you are right now, you cannot move forward. So as soon as those feelings and those thoughts start coming in, recognize them. Don't put any pressure on them. Don't put any resistance on them, and just say, wow, like I am feeling really anxious right now when I go into my bank account, or when you're paying a bill online or whatever. I am one of those people who I've written checks for the company. Personally, I've never written a check. So just to touch on that, Kat. But
babies,
different generation, right? Like this is the new time. So yeah, anyway, when you go in and you go to pay that bill, or you know that you have to pay that bill, and you start feeling those emotions and that tension, just recognize it. Holy shit, am I ever feeling sick right now? Like I'm stressed out. And let it go. Pay the bill. Let it pass, and continue to do that. Recognize it. And then soon as you become aware, you can start shifting it and saying, just like Kat said, like that anxiety of paying that bill can turn into, well, I get heat for another month. There's people in the world who don't have anything like it, who wouldn't even be able to fathom the idea of a furnace blowing heat into the house. So yeah, I think another part is just change your perspective. It's mandatory. It's mandatory, because if you don't change your perspective, you can't accept where you are. If you can't accept where you are, then you're not going anywhere further. You're not moving ahead, or you're not moving further ahead until you accept where you're at. So yeah, changing your perspective is key on when you pay your bills, the amount of money that you have, your paycheck, where you work, everything. Actually, like Kat, if you're not in a hurry to end the call, I'll just share something. So for a little while, I pulled back out of my business, and I spent some time with the family. I have some things going on that are challenging, so I was putting my focus there. And in the meantime, though, like I did a little bit of a disconnect from the community. I wasn't on my calls that I usually am, and so on and so forth. And in the meantime, though, I was still listening to my audiobooks and still meditating, keeping my mind sound, keeping myself healthy. And what I came to realize is that, because I juggle, so I work from home, and I do the books and the safety program for my husband's company. And I hated it. I resent the company because of the relationship that's involved with it. And I resent the work because I put my heart into it, and then it's not really utilized. So there's a lot about it that I just can't stand. Couldn't stand. Past tense. And what I came to realize after listening to the same book that I've listened to, I don't even know how many times, I've lost count. And it's The Science of Getting Rich. Love that book. And I listened to it again and got something out of it this time that I haven't before. And my hatred and my negative mentality based around my job, you know, what I did for Outlaw, for my husband's company, was holding me back. Instead of being so grateful that I have that, and so, like, yeah, I can say it, I can consciously acknowledge that I'm grateful for it, but if I don't actually feel it deep, emotionally feel that gratitude for that job, it's two different things. One's real, one's fake. You can't wish for something without emotionally attaching yourself to it. You won't get it unless you emotionally attach yourself to it. So that's my hatred towards that job, and my resentment towards it was holding me back and causing tension in my business. So killing my inspiration, killing my creativity, which is two things, as Kat knows, that are absolutely mandatory for an online business, for building your own brand anyways, and creating products and, you know, sharing inspirational content. You need to be inspired and creative. And if you don't have those two things on your side, then you're like dead in the water. So it was killing that, because I had so much resentment and hatred towards the other thing that I had to share my office with, share my time with. So anyway, now I'm creating systems to make it easier for me. I'm communicating better. Whether he does or not, I'm making sure that I do my part. Whether he does or not, it doesn't matter what others do. I have to make sure that I show up the best I can show up and be thankful for what's in front of me. And I've done 4 blogs this week, whereas I haven't even been able to get one done in months because I'm so uninspired and I have no creative feeling at all. So there's a huge difference. So it just goes to show you that you can, if you change or shift your perspective, it can change your world. You get to choose how you feel about something. No one else can make you choose or make you feel a certain way. You get to choose how you feel and how you think about things and how you look at things. So if you choose to look at things in a negative way, then the only person you have to point a finger at is yourself. Anyway, I'm done. I wanted to share that because it's just an example of shifting your perspective and what it can do for you.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful story to end on. Thank you, Brittany. Absolutely lovely.
Thank you.
Well done.
So we will close out and say, unless Kat, do you have anything, or you're
fine? Great.
Perfect. We will close out and we will see you all again next week. Monday it is, and we'll post in the Facebook group. You have my word.
Bye.
Okay, bye.